This is topic E on page 129, applying basic conditional formatting.
As your Excel skill level increases and you begin to perform more and more data analysis with the information in your workbooks, you may find yourself looking for a way to make certain bits of information stand out based on particular conditions. For example, if you're analyzing the budgets for various departments, you may want to highlight in red any departments that have exceeded their budgets. Rather than doing this manually, Excel allows you to automatically format particular data that meets defined criteria. This kind of functionality can transform enormous sets of seemingly random bits of data into useful organizational intelligence that you can use to make sound decisions. Using conditional formatting, Excel displays data that meets specified criteria with the specified formatting applied. Data that meets certain conditions you define can stand out from the rest of your data. All right, so our conditional formatting options are available to us on our Home tab. In our Styles group, we have our conditional formatting dropdown, and we'll be taking a look at our highlight cells rules, top and bottom rules, data bars, color scales, and also icon sets. So first, our highlight cells rule. This is one of the most common types of conditional formatting that Excel users perform, is highlighting cells that contain data meeting specific numeric criteria. So you can highlight data that is greater than a value, less than a value, between two numeric values, equal to a certain value, or you can highlight text content that contains, specific words, a date occurring between two dates, or values that are duplicate, more than one. So, for example, if I wanted to highlight all of the employees that have been with the company for more than 10 years, I can select, let's see, we have H6 through H107. I'm going to go to my conditional formatting dropdown. I'm going to do my highlight cells rule and choose greater than. So we have our dialog box here. Format cells that are greater than what? We enter our value, and then we choose what formatting we want applied to this. From our drop-down, we have a few options here. So we'll do green fill with dark green text. Click OK, and you can see now, just by skimming the information here, I don't have to, nitpick each individual cell. I can kind of scan down and get an idea. Maybe like 50% of our employees are above 10 years. All right, I can quickly see that. Or maybe I want all pay scale code employees to have a specific font color. Let's say, let me go ahead and select all of these. I can do my conditional formatting, highlight cells rule, text that contains, and we want all C2 employees. We'll keep it light red fill with dark red text. Click OK. You can see, immediately stands out to me. All right, so that's your highlight cells rule. Whoops, my mouse is going crazy today. It's all over the place. That's your highlight cells rules. We'll take a look at a few more examples in the activity coming up. We also have our top and bottom rules. This is another common use of conditional formatting involving highlighting cells that contain either the highest or the lowest values in a particular range, or cells that are above or below average for the selected cells. So let's say I wanted the employees with the top 25% of their bonus. I'm going to select my cells. Conditional formatting, top and bottom rules. Now, there's no top 25% here, but there is a top 10%. Don't worry about the numbers that are shown here. That's just kind of a starting point, but you can do top 25 items. You can do top 25%. You can do bottom 5 items. You can do bottom 2%. Don't worry about the numbers that are shown here. Just worry about the actual heading. So if I wanted the top 25%, go to top 10%, and you can see 10 is automatically input here, but we have our scroll arrows, and we can indicate exactly what percentage we want. Choose our formatting. Let's do how about a custom format? This will open our Format Cells dialog box. We can choose a fill color. Maybe we want that to be a yellow background. Click OK. And look at that. Click OK from here. So all of these bonuses are the top 25%, and Excel automatically calculates the 25% of the actual range that you had previously selected. So it's great in that respect. Now you can also do, let's say we wanted in that same category, we can do another conditional formatting on top of that. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of a lag here. Let's say we wanted the bottom 10 items. Again, you can choose your number here. Maybe we only want the bottom 2. And we'll do another custom formatting for this. We'll do our font. Let's make it bold. Color we'll have as a light gray, and our fill color we'll have as purple. Click OK. So we can quickly see that Leilani Kano has one of the least bonuses, and the other sales rep who has the least bonus is going to be Kirk Swan. So just by applying that conditional formatting, we're able to dissect our data a lot more speedily. Because imagine, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of employees or product ID numbers or names, whatever it is that you have your spreadsheet of. It's very time consuming to, analyze your data just using, the naked eye to look at it. If you apply the conditional formatting, Excel does all the work for you, and by using that formatting, again, it's easier to just take that information out using the formatting. All right, so that's our top and bottom rules. You can do above average or below average with those as well. Again, just select your range and choose your formatting, and that will be applied. We also have data bars. And data bars are graphical representations of the relative values of data in a range of cells. If I have my total compensation column selected, conditional formatting dropdown, here I have my data bars, and you just choose gradient fill or solid fill and your color. So if I chose the purple data bar, it's easy for me to scroll down without even looking at the numbers. I can see this is one of the top compensations for my sales reps. And I can see this one just using the data bar of the relative size compared to the other compensations. It's a little below halfway point. So it's easy to compare all of them without even looking at the exact values. Okay, so that's just a matter of selecting the range and selecting the color data bar you want applied. Same idea for your color scales. Your color scales give viewers a graphical representation of the relative values of cell data. I'm going to use my total compensation column again. Go to my conditional formatting drop-down. Here I have color scales. Some have 2 colors, some have 3. Here we have green, yellow, and red color scale. You can see the text is kind of hard to read. Let's change that color real quick. You can see closer to the red is going to be the lower part of your spectrum. And as it increases, the number gets kind of orangey. You can see 45,000. Then it will go into the yellow section, about 60. We have 63 here. The higher it gets off of that, it will go into green. And you can see the darkest green is our highest value. So again, the color scale represents the relative value of each cell according to that range. You also have two options for your color scales, your two colors. You can see this is like a green and white. Again, I have to change the font color for this so it's more easily readable for us. So white, you can see the white background fill represents the lowest value. As it increases, it gets a very light green. You can see in that. A little larger, it gets a medium green, and the darker it gets to the highest value. So easy to see the relative value based on those as well. And lastly, we also have, let me undo all of this, we also have our icon sets. And icon sets function in much the same way as data bars and color scales, but they use sets of icons to represent the relative values. For example, here we have our icon sets. We have different arrows we can apply. You can see the arrows will go to the left side of the cell. The red downward pointing arrows represent the lowest values in that data range that you have selected. The mid values are represented by the yellow right pointing arrow. And then the larger values in that range, you can see have an upwards pointing green arrow. Okay, so these are all represented by icons. Another option you can use from there, your icon sets, you have all your arrows, you have shapes you can use, indicators, which has a check mark, exclamation, and a X. You have some flags. You have a whole bunch of different sets that you can use. And again, it's just for the relative values of each. Again, you can see this one is a little opposite. Oh no, it's about the same. Red flags are your lowest values. Yellow are your mid-level values. And you can see green goes with the highest values in that set.
Your next video will be Activity 4.5 on page 135.